All right, the moment we've all been waiting for. Does the Suzuki Cappuccino's F6A dual overhead cam motor fit directly into a two-wheel drive Suzuki Carry? I'm gonna go over what I did to the engine mount to strengthen it. I'm not sure if it was necessary. Then I'm gonna lower the truck and align the crossmember with the holes to see if it'll clear the bed. This is a lot taller than the original motor because the intake is like this, and that intake was actually designed to be flat. Take your guesses in the comments below to see if this will actually fit without any modification to the bed. I'm gonna finalize this engine mount so I could actually bolt it all up for real now. I already did some grinding to kind of round this off a little bit. I think I could do a little bit better on this side, but that should be all right. I don't know how thick this stuff is, but this is 1/8 inch steel. This is a little bit thicker than that. I don't know if it's because, no, it's not the coating. That's definitely thicker than this. Actually, only at some places. So I'm gonna kind of trace this out, cut it out, and just weld a plate right to it. Theoretically, that's supposed to make it stronger, right? I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing. Maybe I need bigger pieces. Okay. Okay, now I get to cut this out. What I've done was trace it with a Sharpie. Basically, it goes all the way up against the edge. I'm going to cut on the inside of the Sharpie line. That gets me to the exact size I need it to be. A little bit smaller is okay because the weld's kind of going to fill up some of this. I'm going to probably have to grind some more to kind of make this a little bit smaller. So I'm going to cut a little bit deeper than the red line this time. And on this one, you're probably wondering why I didn't get a longer piece of steel. I didn't want to do that because, remember, I had a clearance issue with the what do you call it, the turbo oil drain. So allowing for some space here. I don't think I'm gonna make enough power or like torque or whatever to break this, and adding this theoretically strengthens it, at least to some extent. So good luck to me. Not bad. Terrible at this. I think it's working because you can clearly see the penetration and stuff on the discoloration of the metals. All right, so I had a little issue over there. I'm gonna probably grind that off and fix that. However, look at the rest of it. Look at that. I'm a pro welder, right? That looks pretty good to me. This got really hot. It started flaking the OEM paint off of the mount there. So I'm gonna have to like kind of sand this all real well and paint it afterwards. I'm gonna do the bottom and the sides, and I'll continue. I'm gonna rotate this in the vise. Yeah, you can see how the first ones weren't laying down so well. These literally fused into the metal like it's supposed to. All right. Now that this is 1,000,000 degrees, let's take a quick look at the fine work I have done here. Not bad. You know, I have about like 50 minutes of welding experience. I think this came out pretty good. This part I kind of messed up. I'll have to grind that down, maybe patch that, but it should be all right. Should be all right. With this cheaper 115 volt welder, I had the arc volts at a little bit over 4, and I had the wire speed at like 61, and that produced these nice fine results. I think I'm going too fast because over here I can see some layering. I don't really know if that matters too much, but this is what it is. Oh, it's really smoky in here. I'm surprised my smoke detector's not complained. I should probably open the door. I think this came out pretty good. A little grinding, and this thing will be perfect. Whoa, 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 almost died. All right. So I'm gonna find a place to kind of just let this chill and cool down. It's gonna rain outside. I don't want to leave it outside. Guess I just have to put it on the floor over here. Well, I could just leave it on the table, right? Yeah, that makes sense. Let's leave it on the table. By the way, welding sunburn is a real thing. I don't know if you could see it. See my farmer's tan here? It gets really dark, like right there. I had a sunburn and I was just like, ow, what the hell is this? Where did I get this? And I realized all of my body was fine, but the way I was welding like this, with the right arm being the support arm, all the flash was able to get to my arm here. Oh look, it's pretty obvious now. So be careful, guys. Wear the appropriate gear to protect yourself from any activities that you do in a garage shop or anything. Here's the mount, all welded and painted. Looks mint if you squint. This back in. Might help if I rotate it. Here it is mounted again. You can see the extreme angle of the crossmember, how it's completely like diagonal. It looks like it's 45 degrees. I'm not measuring it, that's just what I'm calling it. It's slanted, that's how it's supposed to look, and it's gonna go back in the truck. However, I think I'm missing all my mounting hardware. I think they're like M8 bolts that go back into the frame to hold that together. Probably gonna have to buy new stuff. It's time to attempt motor fitment. Let's get my buddy's truck out of here. This is the pour 15 he did on the bottom of the bed. It actually came out pretty good. I like it. I'm gonna have to do mine. Let's get his truck out. This is what has been done so far. Looks pretty good. Oh, there's some spots that he missed, but I think he's gonna do these upper spots when the truck's on the ground. He borrowed my lift so he could just do everything that's underneath, and everything that's underneath looks to be well coated. Oh no, he dropped stuff on the exhaust. I'm sure that stuff's not gonna smell that good when he's driving around, at least until it burns off. Wow, I did a pretty decent job doing the initial alignment. This is like nearly spot on. Stop me if you hear crunching. Oh, I'm on a lock. Oh, I hit something. Okay. Now we know. Okay. All right, this is gonna be a bigger problem than I thought it's gonna be. A much bigger problem. This is supposed to be touching the bottom of this, and those are the bushings, and the bolts are supposed to go through. And right now, I need 6 inches. I need 6 inches of clearance for this to fit and be kosher. Well, that's a problem. All right, game over. Swap's done. Bye. Bye. I'm just kidding. We require a modification if we're gonna keep the intake as is. I'm thinking about getting an Alto or Suzuki Carry AutoZam AZ1 intake, but it doesn't come complete, and I'm not sure I want to grab that one yet. It's like 400 bucks. There's one for sale on Yahoo Auctions right now. That one will give me a little less height. I think it takes away like 2 or 3 inches, and right now we're talking about 6.5 to 7 inches. So in the 2-wheel drive, you can manage because the motor sits completely behind the cab. And with the 4-wheel drive model, you can't really do this swap because the motor sits probably about this much in between the cab and the bed. And I don't think there's room for you to cut into the cab to kind of go up. I'm currently using my bed as storage, but this is why you'll see the people that do like Honda K-swap or any other random motor swaps, Hayabusa. Like, they would cut a hole in the bed and the motor would sit like at least 6 inches like sticking out in the middle of your bed. I don't want to do that. I want to retain the usefulness of my bed. I still want to get this motor, so I'm going to find alternatives to figure this out. If you've been following along, you know that I've talked about this in the beginning where I know that's probably going to hit the bed. What I want to do is convert this truck into a dump bed and a scissor lift. Those are going to add height to the bed anyways. I was hoping for like 3 inches. That would have been really easy to do. But right now we're talking about 7, and I need to rethink my whole project here. Doing the dump scissor lift conversion, I was expecting to have to cut this mount right here on all the parts that I need to, and then put square tube frame right on top of it. And then that will like lift and pivot with the bed. So I was expecting maybe using 2.5 square tube. 2.5 square tube, maybe a little bit up here. It would have been like maybe 3-4 inches, but I need to get 7 inches out of here. So I think it's going to be a whole different deal. I'm not sure what I'm going to do yet. Maybe I can add like a spacer block here to lift the entire thing up, but that's not really the hard part, I guess. It's more about an aesthetic thing for me, and I'm going to be curious what's like the bed being 7 inches higher would look like. Just for reference here, I'm going to look at this because this is the intake I would like to get. I guess it's actually, the one I saw is pretty complete. There's not really much on this. As long as it has the throttle body, it's the intake. I mean, all this other stuff is just hoses and stuff that connect into nipples and whatnot. So anyways, just for reference, I'm going to measure from the PCV tower to like the outside here. This is about 6.5 inches to like this part. Coming over here to this guy, PCV tower. If I do that, look at that. That's a lot of inches. That is 6, so over here. Right about there. So there's there's like 2 to 3 inches because I have to account for this nipple. Like 2 to 3 inches unnecessary here. What can I do? Boom, room, room. All right, so if I increase my bed height to 7, right about there. This would be the height of the bed door, and then I gotta find the height of the bed floor. Bed floor would now be about here. Okay, that looks a little bit more reasonable. All right, let's see. So, I don't know, what am I carrying? There we go. So if I'm carrying a load and have to put it here, this high, it's not that bad. It is higher than desirable, but it's not that bad. So I guess I'm not entirely screwed. Would it look weird though? The door's like way the hell up here. Oh wait, hold on. I could just do this. See, like, this is what the door would look like. Actually, I guess that isn't so bad. That's not so bad. Oh, okay. If you have any ideas for me, please leave a comment below, let me know. But I guess that's it for now until I get this figured out. So subscribe for the next video on this saga, and leave a like if you liked what I see and you appreciate what I'm sharing here. And I'll see you next time, or you'll see me next time. Bye.